One morning, the skies above Chicago darken as an enormous, silent extraterrestrial vessel appears, hovering ominously above the city. The people below freeze in place, staring in awe and terror at the mysterious ship. Within minutes, news stations across the globe broadcast live footage, and social media explodes with speculation and fear. The military responds swiftly, mobilizing all available forces. Fighter jets scramble into the air, encircling the unknown object but keeping a cautious distance. On the ground, armored vehicles and troops flood the streets, establishing a secure perimeter around the massive shadow cast by the vessel. Scientists and intelligence officers are rushed to the site, while the government scrambles for answers. Is this an invasion, a peaceful visitation, or something else entirely? Attempts to communicate using standard radio frequencies are met with silence. No signals are being emitted from the ship, no apparent signs of aggression, nor any form of life visible from the outside. The exterior is smooth, metallic, and dark, with no identifiable seams or markings. As the world watches with bated breath, tension thickens among the gathered forces. No one knows what to expect next. After hours of silent observation, an event shakes the military encampment. Without warning, a brilliant beam of white light descends from the belly of the ship, cutting through the morning haze like a divine pillar from the heavens. The ground where it lands shimmers slightly, almost as if space itself is bending within its glow. The air around it hums with an unidentifiable energy, sending readings off the charts for the nearby scientists monitoring radiation and electromagnetic signals. The generals debate their next course of action. Some argue for caution, while others insist on a show of force. However, curiosity and the need for understanding outweigh hostility. The decision is made. An expendable drone is sent first, hovering cautiously into the beam. Within an instant, the drone vanishes. No explosion, no sound, no debris. It simply ceases to exist. With no clear sign of destruction, a new decision is made. Send in a soldier. Volunteers step forward, and ultimately, Sergeant Daniel Carter is chosen. Fully equipped with a body camera and audio relay, he steps forward, heart pounding but his resolve unshaken. The world watches through his live feed as he enters the light. Then, just like the drone before him, he is gone. Sergeant Carter finds himself in a completely different environment. No longer outside, he is inside the alien ship. The transition was instantaneous. One moment he was stepping forward, and the next he was here, standing on solid ground. The room is dimly lit, with a faint blue glow emanating from the walls, which pulse like a living thing. He checks his oxygen levels. To his surprise, the air is breathable. The atmosphere is strangely comfortable, lacking the sterile cold he expected. Slowly, he steps forward, scanning his surroundings. The walls curve seamlessly into the floor, lacking any bolts or panels. The architecture is smooth, almost organic. At the center of the room, a large, sleek console stands. Its surface is glass-like, embedded with glowing symbols that shift and change. Two metallic spheres float on either side, humming softly. But beyond the console, something even more unsettling catches his attention. A massive glass wall separates his room from another. Behind it, a thick, swirling mist conceals something large. Then, movement. The mist shifts, thinning slightly. A towering silhouette emerges. As it comes into view, Carter's breath catches in his throat. A six-legged creature, unlike anything he has ever seen, stands on the other side. Wires extend from its elongated head, stretching into the ceiling. Its skin is dark and layered, almost exoskeletal. The creature opens its mouth, emitting a series of deep, guttural sounds. The screen in front of Carter flickers to life, displaying a sequence of strange symbols. Carter grips his radio, but no signal is transmitting back to base. He is alone in this moment of first contact. Back on Earth, the military quickly pulls together its brightest minds to analyze the video footage. Dr. Eleanor Hayes, a world-renowned linguist specializing in ancient and theoretical languages, is brought in. She studies the symbols, noting repeating patterns and structures. Understanding that direct communication is necessary, she volunteers to enter the ship. Equipped with translation software and recording devices, she steps into the beam of light. The same disorienting transition occurs, and she finds herself inside the ship, standing where Carter had been. The creature remains behind the glass, watching her with its many dark, reflective eyes. Dr. Hayes approaches the console cautiously, running her fingers over the smooth surface. The symbols shift as if responding to her presence. Experimentally, she touches one, and a different sequence appears. A reaction. She begins to map out connections, treating the interaction as a puzzle. The creature observes, its mouth opening and closing as if encouraging her progress. Hours pass, but progress is made. Through repetition and careful analysis, she begins forming a rudimentary understanding. The symbols seem to represent phonetic sounds rather than traditional written words, a language unlike anything found on Earth. Dr. Hayes finally cracks the initial message. The alien is asking for help. It has lost something of great importance on Earth, an artifact vital to its people's survival. Without it, their world faces imminent disaster. The request is presented in the form of an ancient star map, pinpointing a location deep within the mountains of Nepal. Dr. Hayes relays this to the military, who deliberate on whether to assist. There are concerns about leading the alien to a potentially powerful object, but ultimately, cooperation is chosen. The military's special task force, consisting of elite operatives, linguists, geologists, and astrophysicists, departs from the United States aboard a classified aircraft. Their destination, the remote and treacherous mountains of Nepal, where the alien's map has pointed them toward an ancient, long-hidden artifact. The journey is perilous, requiring multiple stops, changes in transport, and high-altitude acclimatization. As they move deeper into the mountain range, they are met with resistance from the local monks, who warn them of the power the artifact holds. The monks share old legends of a stone of the gods, a glowing relic hidden deep within a sacred cave. They claim it was placed there centuries ago by celestial beings and has remained undisturbed ever since. They warn that removing the stone could awaken forces beyond human comprehension. Some team members grow uneasy, but the mission must proceed. The monks reluctantly agree to lead them part way, stopping at the entrance to an ice-covered passage hidden within the cliffs. As the team ventures inside, they find ancient carvings, eerily similar to the alien symbols etched into the walls. They scan the area, uncovering additional clues left behind by a civilization that predated known human history. Strange electromagnetic anomalies interfere with their equipment, and some team members report hearing whispers in an unknown language. The deeper they go, the colder it becomes, the very air seeming to resist their presence. Finally, they reach the chamber described in the map. The artifact, a massive crystalline rock, pulsating with an eerie blue-white glow, rests atop an ancient pedestal. As they prepare to extract it, the walls tremble, and a deep, resonant hum fills the cavern. The lead scientist carefully examines the stone, confirming that it emits an unknown energy signature. The artifact isn't just a relic, it's an active power source. Suddenly, their presence triggers a defensive mechanism. The cavern begins to collapse, ice and stone falling around them. Shadows move in the distance, and what were once lifeless statues begin to shift. The team fights against time, securing the artifact while fending off unseen forces. With moments to spare, they manage to escape just as the entrance collapses behind them. As they emerge into daylight, the artifact begins to glow even brighter. A pulse of energy surges from it, knocking out all electronics in the vicinity. The sky above distorts momentarily, as if reality itself has been altered. The team, rattled but victorious, prepares for extraction, knowing they now hold something of immense importance, perhaps not just to the alien, but to the fate of Earth itself. Returning to the US under extreme security, the artifact is housed within a top-secret military facility. Scientists, engineers, and experts from across the world gather to study its properties. Initial tests reveal that the crystal-like structure contains unknown elements not found on Earth. It seems to store and manipulate energy in a way that defies human understanding. Despite attempts to replicate its functions, no human-made technology comes close. The team is eager to return the artifact to the alien, but concerns arise. What if the artifact is more than just a lost relic? What if it is a key component to something greater, something dangerous? The government debates whether to hand it over or keep it for further study. Some argue that the knowledge derived from it could advance human civilization by centuries. Others warn that withholding it could result in catastrophic consequences. Meanwhile, Dr. Eleanor Hayes is brought back to the alien vessel. She attempts to communicate the situation using the language she has been deciphering. The alien responds with an urgent sequence of symbols and sounds. Growing increasingly agitated, the screen on the console flashes, displaying what appears to be a cosmic event, something happening in real time. A distant star system is shown, and it is in peril. The realization dawns on the team. The artifact isn't just important to the alien, it is vital for their species' survival. Something on their homeworld is collapsing, and without the artifact's power, their planet and millions of lives will be lost. Time is running out. Dr. Hayes, now the intermediary between two species, argues passionately to return the artifact. The military, though hesitant, finally agrees. Under extreme precautions, the artifact is transported back to the alien vessel. The towering being behind the glass observes silently as the artifact is carefully positioned in the light beam. A pulse of energy ripples outward, sending seismic tremors through the air. Military instruments struggle to record the event, with sensors overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of power radiating from the ship. Inside the military base, global communication networks buzz with urgency. Scientists monitor the ship as its systems seemingly reactivate. Panels of alien script scroll rapidly across screens, providing a glimpse into the technology at play. Dr. Eleanor Hayes, still inside the ship, watches in awe as the towering six-legged alien steps forward for the first time. It presses a long, spindly limb against the glass, its wires shifting as if responding to a signal beyond human perception. Then, in a moment of unexpected clarity, the alien lets out a deep, vibrating sound, a final act of communication. The symbols on the console shift into structured sequences, forming what appears to be a farewell message. Dr. Hayes carefully records it, knowing that the information might hold the key to something monumental. The military, still on high alert, braces for the ship's next move. Jet squadrons remain in the sky, tracking the ship's every motion. On the ground, armored vehicles prepare for a potential confrontation. Though, deep down, most realize that humanity is merely an observer in this exchange. The ship begins to ascend. Its massive structure emits an iridescent glow, growing brighter with every passing second. The sky darkens around it, stars shimmering unnaturally in response. Then, with an ear-splitting crescendo of sound, the vessel propels itself upward. The clouds ripple and disperse, and in a burst of unimaginable acceleration, the ship vanishes beyond Earth's atmosphere. No sonic boom follows, only an eerie silence left in its wake. The world watches in stunned silence. The alien ship is gone. The sky above Chicago returns to its normal state, but the planet is forever changed. Scientists, military personnel, and world leaders gather in emergency meetings, deliberating what comes next. The aliens' departure is not the end of this story. It is the beginning of something far greater. With the ship gone, attention turns to the final transmission. Scientists and linguists work tirelessly to decipher the aliens' parting message. At first, the symbols appear as an intricate mathematical construct, something beyond even the most advanced human comprehension. But with Dr. Hayes leading the translation efforts, patterns begin to emerge. The gift left behind is not just a thank you, it is knowledge. The data contains something revolutionary, the blueprint for faster-than-light travel. It outlines complex calculations for bending space-time, theoretical constructs for manipulating gravity, and a potential pathway to interstellar travel. The implications are staggering. Humanity, once bound to its solar system, may now hold the key to reaching beyond the stars. Governments scramble to control the information. Some argue that it should remain classified, fearing what could happen if such technology fell into the wrong hands. Others push for an open-source approach, believing that all of humanity should benefit from this newfound knowledge. The debate grows heated, with world powers vying for dominance over the discovery. Meanwhile, the scientific community races ahead. Physicists, engineers, and theorists begin testing the principles outlined in the alien message. New fields of study emerge overnight, universities and research centers shifting their focus toward understanding extraterrestrial physics. Aerospace companies launch secret projects attempting to integrate the alien blueprints into human-made spacecraft. The race to the stars has begun. Amid the chaos, Dr. Hayes reflects on the encounter. She understands that this moment marks a turning point for humanity. The knowledge they have received is both a blessing and a burden. It could unite the world in a common purpose, or divide it further in the pursuit of power. She hopes that mankind will choose wisely. As weeks pass, evidence of the ship's presence fades from the physical world, but its impact remains ingrained in human history. The sky above Chicago is just as blue as before, the city returning to its daily routine. But the people who witnessed the event know that Earth is no longer alone in the universe. The ship came and left, not as conquerors, but as seekers of something lost. And in return, they left behind the means for humanity to seek something greater. The stars are no longer beyond reach. The future has changed forever.